What's up? This is your man Dre Mack, and on this video, I'm going to go over day number 10 of the Jonathan Majors trial. I'm going to go over all the testimonies that have been told today, just the highlights of everything, and I'm going to play for you guys the 911 tape from Jonathan Majors. I'm not going to lie, it's going to be heavy, it's going to be deep. Let's just get into it. You already know how we do. The real question is... All right, so what we actually gathered from the day from Danny, of course, you know this information comes from Danny Does Law as far as the highlights and everything that I'm going to recap. But from the vibe that I've heard from her and even a couple of the mainstream media, this was kind of like the filler episode of the Jonathan Majors trial. A bunch of testimonies that went on, which of course, I'm going to give you everything. You already know we're going to get into it. But again, I'm going to also share with you the 911 call from Jonathan Majors. And I want you to think about, how this will make you feel towards the end. But we're going to get into that. Let's go ahead. Let's get into the testimonies. Let's go ahead and get this thing started. Witness number 9, Officer Lucero, also known as Officer Amnesia. Just let you know, there's a 2-for-1 deal on the Blue Wall special on this one. Let's go. Largely unremarkable in his testimony on both direct and cross. Didn't recall much of anything. Even with his body cam footage being played back, he played dumb. Fun times for everybody. Officer Amnesia did recall helping Stephanie write the domestic incident report. He wrote the first page and a half, and she wrote the rest, and recalled occupying her to Bellevue. Notably, he no longer works for the NYPD and now working for Sulphur County PD in Long Island for the past 3 months. So zero accountability to be had, hence why he can't recall anything. Witness number 10, Sergeant Brian Hansen, aka the Choker. More of the same kind of genetic and repetitive testimony, even with body cam footage. His camera was noticeably positioned, strangely enough, that not much could be seen below the neckline area. 22-year New York Police Department vet with only 2 approximate years as sergeant, spent a month in the academy training for the promotion. In the ultimate decision maker on the arrest, claims he checked around for pills and other evidence of attempted pruning and didn't find any evidence of the collection. Saw blood on a blanket but did not look elsewhere around the apartment for blood. Testified that Jonathan showed him his phone and all the text messages. Indicated to Officer Swain that he grabbed his own neck to get him to ask Stephanie more questions. Testified that Stephanie told him that she was struck in the head several times and the defendant grabbed her throat. Accompanied Stephanie to the hospital, and the body cam footage throughout the time with her is evidently shown her using her right hand to not only text in irregular intervals, but dig in her purse and adjust her clothing. Witness 11, Ben Toddy. Largely unremarkable as well as far as his testimony, but he is just like his British counterpart with the over-explaining yes and no answers. Has been living in NYC for 8 years and has been Stephanie's manager for that long and personal friend for half that long. He also says he's Holly's friend and colleague. He was very dramatic in describing how he perceived her to feel, and despite speculating and exaggerating, was allowed to continue through several defense objections. He sat with Stephanie during the 3-hour stay at the Bellevue psychiatric ward and says that her demeanor was one that I have not recognized before, much smaller personality, and Stephanie was half the person that I've seen before. Toddy also testified that he went back to the apartment with her after contacting Jonathan Majors' manager, Para S., and helped her pack. He too tried to persuade Stephanie to go to a hotel and to speak to her sister, but she refused to go and wanted to sleep. On cross, he admitted that he did not know if Stephanie ever left the apartment as he suggested. Defense rested after asking him 3 questions. One other in which he admitted to having his flight paid for by the DA. Witness number 12, Josie Torelli. Graduated Columbia University in 2006 with a master's in social work. She's a licensed clinical social worker, consults in DV, trauma, and sexual violence, has a specialization in interpersonal trauma, DV, sexual violence, and intimate partner violence, is being paid $200 an hour by the DA. Lackluster. Felt like we were in a psychology 101 lecture. Jury was bored and one of them even fell asleep. Most of the testimony was psychobabble the majority of America now learns on TikTok, #NoShade. Claim that physical violence is not always hitting someone, but then use choking as an only example. Nothing she offered as an expert opinion applied to the case at hand, as she was only allowed to speak in general terms. However, on cross-examination, the snarky Ann Zuckerberg shook things up and woke us up with an added bonus, but getting her to concede to the following. She only testified in 3 defense cases, only one being a criminal case where she did not testify. She never worked with someone traumatized by false allegations. She supposedly just learned about Jonathan Majors last night despite being contacted months ago by the DA. Note, jury foreman person likes the Z-Man. Seems to think he's pretty funny. That's there no way to look at someone and tell that they've experienced trauma. She never worked with someone who faked trauma, denied being biased, but claims she has a different worldview about DV due to her profession. That not every disagreement or argument is intimate partner violence. Court adjourned because it's 4:30 to be continued. All right, so those were the testimonies. Now, I'm going to play you Jonathan Majors' 911 call. Again, if you're easily triggered, I will say turn away at this point. But if you're still here, let's go. Here's the audio.
Police, fire, medical.
Hey, how are you? Is it medical? Attempted suicide, I think.
What is the location?
252 7th Avenue.
All right, so that was 252 7th Avenue, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
What apartment?
Penthouse D.
Penthouse D?
Yes.
As in David, right?
Yes,
this is in Manhattan or in Brooklyn?
This is.
Hello, sir?
Yes, ma'am. This is in Manhattan.
You're losing service. I'm sorry. Okay.
Okay, it's okay. It's in Manhattan.
All right. So this is Penthouse D. Just stay on the line, all right?
Okay, we'll do.
Penthouse D as in David. Don't worry about it. Speaking to me is not delaying anything. I just need some help, some information for the crew. They're already on the way, okay?
Oh, okay.
Attempted suicide. Let me get them going. What happened exactly? Do you know?
No, I don't know. But she's unconscious.
Okay.
She's naked from the bottom down. She has a sweatshirt on. She's my ex-partner.
Right.
We broke up. I came back. She sent me text messages insinuating as much. I stayed in a hotel last night. I came home this morning. I banged on the door. I've been at the apartment for about 40 minutes now. I banged at the door. I couldn't get in. I finally went downstairs and asked the doorman to help us. And they let me in via the handyman.
All right.
Yeah. She's 30 years old. White, female.
All right. Does she suffer from anything prior to? Or no, she have a mental condition or history?
I would maybe say so. She has a history with...
What's her name?
Her name is Grace Caitlin Natasha Jabari.
Grace. All right. Do you know what she did or what she took, or you don't know?
No, I don't know. I just know she's unconscious.
All right. No problem, sir.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get you over to the EMS. Do not hang up, all right? They're already en route, okay?
Okay.
All right. Stay on the line. Hold on. Arrow?
639.
639. I'm 2880 for the job number 1749.
Hello, caller.
Hey, how are you?
Hi, this is 252 7th Avenue in Manhattan.
Yes, sir. Right over the Whole Foods.
Okay. And the patient's breathing?
Oh, yes, sir. She is.
Okay, is she awake?
No.
And phone number for you, 214-601-9547?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
This is Penthouse Diaz and David?
Yes, sir. Penthouse Diaz and David.
Okay, you're with her right now?
I've come downstairs to let the lineman know that you guys are on the way. So,
Okay. So they're going to be there as soon as possible.
Okay.
Obviously, if you could
What
just
should I do? What should I do?
If you could just make sure the door's open, and when you
Yes.
get upstairs, she didn't fall and hit her head, anything that you know of, right?
No, I think I saw a cut behind her ear.
Okay.
Yeah.
How old is she?
She's 30 years old.
Okay. So if you could just, when you get back upstairs, we just want you to keep an eye on her breathing. If she wakes up, we don't want to give her anything to eat or drink. Like I said, they're already responding.
I think they just walked in.
The ambulance crew?
Okay. I think this is the ambulance crew.
Is it the fire department?
I called them on with a good,
I think that's PD.
So that's the police, sir?
Hello, sir. That's the police?
I don't know what's going on. She's conscious, though. She tried to. Yeah. So folks, will you just keep that confidential? Fella, this way.
Sir, you're speaking to the cops?
Yeah, I'm assuming these are our guys. I mean.
Is it the police?
Girlfriend. I just came back home. Girlfriend.
Probably. Let me see if they're at the location. Sorry.
I'm leaving. I just need you to phone me and say goodbye, John. There's no note. Just knowing what happened. Wait, this way? Yeah. I finally got into the apartment. The apartment was open.
Yeah, they're at Loke.
What?
The sergeant is at the location.
Okay, and just to confirm again, you have 252 7th Avenue, Penthouse D, between 124th and 125th in Manhattan?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, no problem.
So you guys heard the 911 call. So I'm just going to say this. It was absolutely disturbing that man was shook to his core. Completely. You could hear the trembling in his voice because he thought his ex pruned herself at the timeline. Come to find out, she heard this man rumbling around and crying and calling out for her to make sure that she was all right. And she was sitting around playing dead. She was, Woody from Toy Story. Andy's coming. Let me just fall out. Let me put my feet out like the Wicked Witch of the West. This is problematic. The reason why this is so problematic is that we have seen this before. I'm sorry. I'm just going to tell you guys like this. We've seen the Emmett Tills and all other cases like this, and it could have been something different for Jonathan Majors. I mean, it was life-changing. And all he was doing was looking for that girl's well-being. Everybody's calling him a monster, and it was calling him this, that, and the other. And yes, I understand the text messages. But for something to be out of context, and y'all got the full context of what's going on now with the audio of the 911 tape, ask yourself this. Who's the monster? This is something that cannot continue to happen. I say that as men, we have to be very careful at vetting, our partners and everything. I understand, sometimes we might get with partners and, things don't work out. That's okay. Just go your separate ways. You don't have to deal with any of this. So I'm just saying, after knowing all of what you know now, who was the victim in this? Y'all put it in the comment section. You let me know how you guys feel after hearing this. Thank you so very much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell notification so you never, ever, ever miss one of my videos again. It's a little switch up for what I was doing, but thank you so very much. Until next time, I'll holler at you guys later. Peace and vibe higher. Y'all have a good rest of your day.